Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video. It's been a while since I talk about just Leeds United, so that's what we're going to do today. It's crunch time, down to the wire. Leeds managed to get a point at home to Brighton when all seemed very bleak around Leeds United. Is that point going to be enough? That's what we're going to talk about today. But before we get into the video, as always, remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel. It's free and you can always unsubscribe later, so just press that button. So the question is, that point against Brighton enough for Leeds to stay in the Premier League, or is it enough to help Leeds stay in the Premier League? But after the first half that we had against Brighton, I think I will take a point all day long. Ultimately, it's out of our hands, and it's a horrible thing. It's a horrible feeling, but it is. A win for Burnley against Villa can make it very difficult for us. But also, none of us could get another point this season, which would mean that we stay up. So it's a tricky one. Let's talk about the game against Brighton, shall we? I was there. The first half, we had a couple of chances, mainly the Joffrey one that hit Cooper in the face from a couple of yards out, and the incredible save from Sanchez to deny Mateus Click from that corner. The passing was all over the place. Rodrigo has never been a runner, he's never been a presser when he's played for Leeds, but yesterday was a new low for him. He looked disinterested, he was slow and sluggish, his passing was awful, to put it nicely. The majority of them in the first half went to Brighton players, or he just took too long and got dispossessed, which then led to the counter-attack and Brighton scoring the goal. He took too long, he should have passed it to Jack Harrison, who would have been through. He hesitated, had the ball nicked from him, and Brighton made it 1-0. However, Brighton in the first half did have so many chances. Meslier, we have to thank for keeping us in that game. And I think going in 1-0 at half-time was lucky for us. It could have been 2 or 3. Junior Firpo, he's had a tough season. He gets a lot of stick for his bookings, he makes stupid fouls, but he's not had a consistent run in the team. He'd play 2 or 3 games and then he'd get injured, or he'd play 2 or 3 games and he'd get COVID. And then I think he had a yellow card ban at one point. I'm not sure on that one though. Watching it in the first half, he seemed out of position a lot. But then when I got home and watched the highlights, he wasn't given much help from Jack Harrison, defending wise. So he was always caught between 2 players and he wasn't sure which player to go to. And then he'd go towards one and the other one would get the ball, and it looked like Firpo made an error, which he probably did, but he wasn't given much help at all. The second half, he was so much better. It was so much more improved, and going forward, he helped us out a lot. The second half in general was so much better from us. I'm not sure what inspirational quote Jesse Marsh got out this time, but it seemed to have worked. For some reason, Brighton decided to sit back and waste time when they should have gone to try and kill the game off. That allowed us to attack them more. We had 19 shots and 5 of them on target. We had our chances. We did have our chances. The Rafinha one where Rodrigo played the ball in and Rafinha was there at the back post, that was very unlucky. I think Cucurella, who is one hell of a player by the way, watching him live, he did well to put him off there. But it did seem like one of those games where it just wasn't going to happen for us. And the players looked done. They looked drained. About 75, 80 minutes, they looked drained. Like there was nothing left in their tank and they'd almost given up. And that is when the chance came in. The chance for Bielsa, the chance to sack the board, the chance to sell the club. And I think that would have got to the players. Jesse Marsh said he didn't hear it. I think that's a lie. He would have heard that, but he didn't want to answer how that made him feel. But then up pops the little firecracker wizard Joe Gelhardt to save the day. He does his little bit of magic. How he has the composure to do that in the box in the 92nd minute Not a clue, not a clue. It was either going to be him or Rafinha to save the day, I think. And when I say save the day, I feel like Pascal Struijk isn't getting enough credit as well. He was there to attack the ball and put it in the net, but Joe Gelhardt is getting all the plaudits for that little bit of skill, that little flick. As I said, Struijk was there to head home for what could be the most important point of the season. And it takes us out the relegation zone, for now at least, anyway. I think Everton are safe. As annoying as that is, Everton are playing Crystal Palace at home and Arsenal away. They're both tough games, but I think the wins against Man United and Chelsea and Leicester. Playing Palace and Arsenal, it's going to be tough for them, but I think they're fine. Burnley are away to Aston Villa and at home to Newcastle. Again, tough games. Burnley against Villa is the one that worries me. Although they played Villa a week or two ago and Villa won, it's always tricky when you play a team twice in a short space of time. You never know which way it's going to go. I'm hoping Villa get another win, but it's always tricky. I do think we're going to need to get a point against Brentford, because I can see Burnley getting a point somewhere. I can see them getting a point out of Newcastle or Aston Villa. I think we need to go for the win against Brentford, but they're going to want to beat us. The history that we have with them from our promotion season, the video that's resurfaced recently of Cooper and Dallas singing Mind the Gap, Thomas Frank, they're going to want to beat us. They're going to want to send us down. I'm hoping Pontus Jansson can nice us, give away a penalty, get sent off, score an own goal, something like that. Let us score. Take it a bit more easy on us so we can stay up. But who knows? Maybe no team, as I said, will get another point this season and it stays as it is. We stay up and Burnley go down. We could be relegated on Thursday. Realistically, if Villa win and Everton win as well, we could be down. With our goal difference, that's minus 38, I think it is now. That's not going to help us. It's not going to do us any favours. It's the points that are going to keep us up. It's out of our hands, ultimately. And it's never easy when it's out of our hands, because we have to rely on other teams to do the job for us. We've just got to hope results go our way and hope that the board learns from this if we stay up and gives the squad the overhaul it needs in the summer. Gets more players in, gets rid of some ones that aren't good enough, and pads it out a bit as well, so we have strength in depth, because that's the main thing we've learnt from this season. That you can't rely on a bench full of kids to keep you in the Premier League when you've got 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 players out injured. Now, the one annoying thing I'll say to come out of us staying up would be that the board would kind of be proven right. Their decision to sack Bielsa, hire Jesse Marsch and not invest in the January transfer window. Their whole point of not investing was that it provides a better pathway for the youth players. They'd almost be able to say, like, well, we stayed up, so I don't know what you're complaining about. The youth players did enough to keep us in the division, but that's not good enough. We're not a team that should be scraping survival on the last day of the season. We should be, right now, we should be a mid-table Premier League side, achieving safety with weeks to go in the season. So, as I said, I'm hoping we stay in the Premier League, a massive overhaul in the summer, get better players in, get more players in, and push on to become the club that we should be. So thanks for watching this video. I will see you next week with hopefully a happy video and not a video of me saying that we aren't in the Premier League anymore. So like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you next week. Goodbye.